We are in 2026, girl. We are in 2026. I am excited to be here. And I wanted to say thank you. Thank you because at the end of 2025, I've officially made 1K subscribers right on this channel. And I don't take that lightly. I am so excited. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So, we're back with another video. I am really excited about today's video because this is probably the most questions I've been asked because 2026 is new year, new you. So a lot of people are transitioning into locum tenens. They want to do that. They've seen what I was doing last year. They've seen their friends or they've seen their colleagues making that transition as well. So I get asked these questions the most, right? I've been asked, how did I make the transition into locum tenens? What would I do if I had to start over? And what advice I would give to someone who's looking to make this move now. So in this video, I am going to break it all down, okay? Step by step by step. And to make things make sense, I just want to start with my story because everything I teach now on this channel is rooted in what I actually did. In 2018, when I graduated, I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do. So I had my family nurse practitioner degree, but I didn't have a clear direction yet. So, of course, after I graduated, I started with travel nursing. And eventually, I ended up in urgent care, okay? After about 4 months, I ended up quitting urgent care. And that's when I transitioned into something called locum tenens. So, I always heard about locum tenens. I've actually heard about it the first time was at my school job fair. And it was something that I noticed when I was walking around to the different tables. I was always attracted to the tables that spoke about freedom, that spoke about flexibility, that spoke about income growth. It always caught my attention. And I knew that that's what I wanted, but I was told that I at least needed a year of experience. I ended up making that transition after 4 months of experience. Literally. I don't think it's the same now compared to back in 2019. There are some people that's making the transition as a new grad, but it's not as common now. Nowadays, you need at least give and take the specialty, at least 6 months to 1 year of experience, give and take the specialty. Okay? So if I wanted to start over again from the jump, prior to becoming a locum tenens, I am now 7 years in as a locum tenens, okay? 3 more years, I'm gonna be 10 years in, y'all. So prior to that, if I wanted to start over, here's what I would do differently. I would not over specialize. So if I'm looking to get my first staff job, I'm going to make sure that I'm not too specialized. So if you're in a specialty like neurology or rheumatology, or even dermatology, that is not gonna give you consistent locum opportunities. Here are a list of specialties I would recommend if I was starting over. So I would recommend urgent care, primary care, women's health. Specifically, what I see is OB/GYN. If you just have GYN experience, you might limit yourself a little bit. But if you have OB and GYN experience, you're golden. Psychiatry, hospitalist, emergency medicine. Those are the specialties that I'm seeing that have locum work. So if I was to start over and I didn't have a job at all, and I know that locum tenens is the route that I want to go to, I'm going to make sure I'm choosing a specialty where there are opportunities. And so what I found is that these specialties consistently have opportunities and we need consistency. So consistency is the goal. I'm going to make sure I'm not in any specific niche specialty and I'm going to focus on keeping it broad. Number 2, let's talk about licensing and flexibility. So consistency work comes from having more licenses and ability to travel if need be, all right? I would say at least getting about 3 to 5 licenses in specific states that have a demand for my specialty. So you wanna go ahead and start applying for locum opportunities. What's gonna happen is you'll see a list of opportunities that says a specific state. Right? If I see these opportunities are coming up, even if you don't actually apply, if you just browse through the job boards in psych, you're seeing Massachusetts a lot. Massachusetts, for your particular specialty, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna apply for license in Massachusetts, okay? I'm also going to reach out to agencies. I'm going to ask them, hey, can you help me get licensed in different states? Normally it's a reimbursement basis, meaning that you will pay for the license up front, and then when you actually eventually work with them, they will reimburse you back on that license. So basically it's a free license for you. I will go ahead and also reach out, but I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna wait on any license. I'm gonna have at least 3 to 5 working licenses that I can have so I can start doing opportunity. And as I mentioned earlier, flexibility matters. So there's really no way you won't get any work unless you intentionally limit yourself. So if you're like, I can't work, I can't travel, I can't move to this state, you're limiting your opportunities, so you're not gonna get consistency in work. So I would just say, be open to travel, especially if you're in a state that don't have locum work. You have no option but to be open to travel for work, okay? That's if you really, really, really want to do locum tenens. One of the things I can say is locums kept me organized, but I was not like that in the beginning. So when I first started, I was applying for opportunities with my personal email and my personal phone number, and my phone was getting blown up a lot. My emails were getting blown up a lot, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that there wasn't a separation between my professional life and my personal life. So I would recommend that when you first start applying for these opportunities, make sure you have a designated email, even a designated phone number that they can contact. Okay, I don't want to mix my professional life with my personal life at all. So now that I'm like far in the game, I have agencies that are reaching out to me on my personal email, my personal phone number, and that is one of my biggest regrets. Because guess what? When you are applying for these locum opportunities, a lot of recruiters are going to contact you. So I would absolutely, if I'm starting over, have a separate email just for locums and a separate phone number if possible. That way you don't miss any opportunities and you also don't feel overwhelmed. Another really important thing is your resume. Generic resumes do not work in locum tenens. So I will tell you up front, a lot of these interviews are literally maybe 5, 10, 15-minute phone calls. And the hiring manager is deciding on the spot if you're a good fit. So what needs to stand out is your resume. When they have that resume in front of their desk, they're looking and they're scanning and they're seeing what conditions do you see, what type of patients do you see, what demographics of patients you see that can transfer over to what they need, right? So you need to be specific. Any resume that says acute and chronic conditions is not specific because it's not telling me as a hiring manager what you actually see in the office on a day-to-day basis. So when I say you need to be specific, let's use urgent care, for example. I see acute conditions such as strep, flu, COVID, UTIs, and any procedures I've done. If it's primary care, I'm gonna say I see chronic conditions such as hypertension, hyperlipidemia, diabetes, right? Whatever your specialty is, what stands out the most, list them out on your resume, okay? That shows the hiring manager, okay, they do know how to manage diabetes, or they do know how to manage hypertension, or they do know how to do this procedure. That way, when you're on the phone with them and you're going over the things you do, it's already listed on your resume. They already kind of made the decision that you are a good fit. Here's a quick tip for you. I always like to share this with my clients. If you're on a phone interview and they start talking about the surrounding area, like they say, there's a Walmart 45 minutes away, there's a good food spot here, that usually is a sign that you got the job, okay? That means that they like you. But remember, it's always a two-way street. You want to make sure that the facility is a good fit for you too. If I were to start over, I would also be very patient with myself. Locums can feel overwhelming when you don't know anyone else that's doing it. So it's important to be organized. It's important to get guidance, and it's important to have the right systems in place to make a difference for you. So that is it. I hope you found this video super helpful. I've linked resources below to help you, whether that's negotiating rates, fixing your resume, or just simply understanding the 1099 side of locums. I also dropped my calendar below so you can book a call, so make sure you check that out. And most importantly, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you want more videos like this, let me know in the comment section. And also, let me know where you are in your locum journey, okay? Stay tuned for the next video.